pizza time.
Hey everybody, it's just me today, and today I'm talking about something I consider really cool and really interesting. I'm just gonna hop right into it. There is an Easter egg in Jurassic World, the first one, that nobody talks about, and I watched several Jurassic World Easter egg videos. I looked up several Jurassic World articles, like every Easter egg in Jurassic World, things you missed, things you didn't notice, and not a single one of them pointed this out, and I have to talk about it. Not just because it might be something that only I have pointed out, which I think is very unlikely. There's probably a video out there that I just haven't found that points it out, but I haven't found that video. But more importantly, this may be the most important and coolest Easter egg in Jurassic World ever. And I recently did a Jurassic World Dominion review, and I thought maybe I got all the dinosaur talk out of my system, but I haven't. I love talking about dinosaurs. Oh, God, they're so cool. First, I'd like to talk about a couple of Easter eggs that weren't Easter eggs that I thought were Easter eggs. The biggest one being the velociraptors for Jurassic World. I thought personally that each velociraptor represented one of the Jurassic Park movies, because there's 4 of them, and this was the 4th in the series. I thought each of them was meant to represent one of the movies, and that blue was Jurassic World because all the Jurassic World logos and such were blue, and she had the blue stripe. I thought one of them looked more stripy than the others, and one is. And I thought that was meant to be Jurassic Park 2 because the velociraptors we see in that movie are more stripy. I thought one of them was more green than the others, like the ones kind of in Jurassic Park 3. And I thought one of them looked kind of brown, like the ones in Jurassic Park 1. All of which meant to be a velociraptor from that movie. Not like from the movie, but visually meant to reflect it. And that's not a thing. The number of velociraptors might be a reference to the fact that this is the 4th movie, but the visuals are not done for. I looked into it. It's not a thing. Not even a little bit. In fact, I've confused 2 of them. The one that has the stripes is the greenest one. So yeah, that's just me digging way too deep. Now, getting back to the Easter egg I want to talk about. So anyway, we're going to get into it. First, I got to give a little context, though. So I'm sorry. First, I got to tell the story. This is a classic Jurassic Park history story. And there's a lot of good videos just kind of elaborating on it. If you want to look up like all the details, Google it. Or YouTube it. I'm giving like a Spark Notes version of it quickly so I can elaborate on the Easter egg itself. And this is an Easter egg. I will swear by it. I know it is. I'm gonna do videos on Easter eggs I thought were Easter eggs that aren't actually Easter eggs because I have looked them up and they were not done intentionally. But this one I know for a fact it has to be. It is. Anyway, here, the story. Here we go. So, back when Jurassic Park was becoming a thing, they were working on it, they're making it, they were still going to use classic, like, claymation that we have in, like, the old King Kong movies, or, like, a better example, because it's closer to the time, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, for, like, the ant and the scorpion and such, like that. That's what they're going to do for the dinosaurs. And like that's really the only option they had, but Spielberg he wasn't really feeling it. So they were kind of exploring different options. As we all know, they ended up doing CGI, and it's the first movie to really use a lot of great big CGI. There are other examples of computer generated effects in movies before this, but this is the big one. This is the change cinema forever movie with that level of special effects. And what sold them, Spielberg and other producers or writers, executives, whatever, on using CGI, so the story goes, is one of them was walking by one of the computer guys who was working on it. He had made a full-on T-Rex CGI model doing something, and they were like, that looks awesome, we're going to do that. And that meant the puppeteer guys were out of the job now, and they make that joke about them going extinct. They incorporate that joke into the movie when Ian Malcolm says this.
So what are you thinking?
We're out of a job. Don't you mean extinct?
What they ended up doing actually was really cool. Is they made kind of like robot puppets that could translate the motion into the computer. So the motion of the dinosaurs a lot of times in the movie were made with the puppeteers who could do the the movement and knew how to control the anatomy, but it was fed into the computer, so we had these visuals. Really cool, really great. Now, where does my Easter egg come into it? Well, before the T-Rex that sold them, when they were just walking by and saw it on the screen, before the T-Rex, the first thing these guys ever made was a herd of Gallimimus skeletons running through just a still photo of somewhere in Hawaii, I believe. And it looked like this. Just a bunch of Gallimimus skeletons running. That was the first thing they did to see if it looked good. And then they moved on to make the T-Rex moving around and doing its thing. And in Jurassic World, for a split second, we can see in the big hologram science room, we can see for a split second a Gallimimus skeleton running. And that is 100% done on purpose. That is a reference. That is an Easter egg to this fantastic piece of history. That Gallimimus is the only reason any of this stuff is possible. That tiny little hologram is a callback to what started it all. And I haven't seen anybody else point it out anywhere. And that's just insane to me. And again, someone probably has, and I haven't been able to find it. But the fact that it's not in all of the great big long viral millions of views Jurassic World Easter egg breakdown videos is insane to me. So I had to talk about it. I had to get it out there. I consider this Gallimimus history thing to be so important that I kind of thought in Camp Cretaceous the reason that Darius's father's favorite dinosaur is the Gallimimus had to be again a nod to this this story, because otherwise why would your favorite dinosaur be the Gallimimus? Like, Gallimimus is essentially an ostrich with a tail. Like, of all the different dinosaurs that exist, your favorite is just this with that attached to it. I figured there's no way that could just be why his favorite dinosaur is a Gallimimus. And I haven't looked into it, but I'm fairly certain, without an ounce of research, that story has nothing to do with why his favorite dinosaur is Gallimimus. It's probably just one they picked. But that's where I'm at now. Anytime a Gallimimus thing kind of occurs in a Jurassic Park thing, I'm like, that's got to be a nod, right? That's got to be a reference to this fantastic story. This whole reason, like, all of Jurassic Park exists the way it does because of the Gallimimus. But that's just me being a big ol' nerd. But yeah, I hope this video is seen by enough people that this becomes more of a common knowledge thing, because every single movie we see that has a lot of CGI in it, or even like a CGI really anything in it, in a way, it's all because of this Gallimimus that made it possible for Jurassic Park to really go all out with the CG and explore it as an art form in movies, and eventually led to all the ridiculousness we now have in films in general. That awesome stuff in Avatar, that's because of the Gallimimus. That super cool shit and the not so cool shit we see in the MCU movies, that's because of the Gallimimus. All of the Disney live action reboots, yeah, that's because of the Gallimimus. So it's not all good. That's where I'm gonna have to cap this one. It was a bit of a rant, bit of a ramble, but that's how I get when I talk about dinosaurs. So even though I was crapping on the Gallimimus a bit there when talking about it being Darius's father's favorite dinosaur, next time you see a Gallimimus in a museum or in the movie, give it a little respect. The respect it deserves, because none of this would be possible without it. So once again, have a good day.
Pizza time.